Stagnancy is one of those things that gets all of us, and a lot of the times it keeps a lot of us. You feel me? Like sometimes it's hard to get out of that stagnancy when you don't know what to do next. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe you have an urge for something new. You have the urge to escape, maybe build, but you don't know where to start, where to go. I think stagnancy it can feel like a curse for a lot of people, but I like to see it more as like a blessing. Because the thing is, when you are feeling stagnant, like in those times when you're feeling stagnant, you can, if you really think about it, every time in the past in your life that you felt stagnant, that's usually when you get the best come ups. You feel me? And I know that sounds boring to say because it's like, all right, bro, like philosophy, but like, where's the solution? I'm gonna get there right now. When you're stagnant, your body and your mind gets in a position where you get so irritated or so uncomfortable with the complacency of where you're at that naturally your mind, the neurons, your emotions, your reactiveness finds a way out. Now, you can take control of this because it's going to happen one way or another. You can take control of this and guide it in a specific direction, whether that be business, whether that be relationships, whether that be your physical location where you're at, whether that be your job. You could guide it, you could take control of it. But a lot of people, they see the stagnancy as like, oh man, like there's nothing I can do about this, and they just sit there and chill. You feel me? And they just let the world take them, swing them in every direction. And when you don't have, when you don't have anywhere to guide that stagnancy towards, you'll get flinged off anywhere. You just have to deal with it. You feel me? But what people don't realize is like stagnancy is easy. And I say this because, well, for one, you don't really have a choice. You're in this position for a reason, right? But two, when you actually know where to guide it, you barely have to try to guide it. You just know you just got to know what direction you want to guide it in. So, like for example, let's say I'm running a business and we're making about 12K a month in sales, right? And I feel like I just can't burst through that revenue. I just can't do anything about it. All right, I could be stagnant and just be like, you know what? I'm stuck at 12K a month. I'm gonna just chill here and hope something changes, but I'm not really gonna like, I don't know, I don't really have a direction. So it's just gonna go wherever it goes. And then I just keep doing the cycles, keep doing the cycles. One day an accident happens, boom. Now I'm down, I have to recover from that. That now I'm out of the stagnancy because I'm hustling to recover from this accident. Option number two, right? I'm making 12K a month in my business and I'm feeling stagnant. Okay, what's my goal? My goal is to up the revenue. I want to double it. Okay, cool. It's going to be slow and I'm still going to be stagnant for a while in the same business, but with the mindset of this is going to grow to times two. So the changes, the small things that I do will slowly increase and build on top of each other to times two the revenue. It can be in any way possible. All right. Maybe a price increase in the product or the service. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a cut in workers, in employees, maybe a cut in supplies. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just thinking more efficiently. Maybe with the stagnancy, I guide that boredom to find more clients, find more leads. You know what I mean? Like the stagnancy is a gift because you can be so bored when you're stagnant that you have nothing better to do than to fix your issues. And a lot of people don't realize that stagnancy is a gift. When you're stagnant, you have the choice to fix your issues or to let your issues change you. You feel me? You have the power to get your issues in line and build, or let your issues line you up and build themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a blessing. And most people think that when they're stagnant that there's nothing they can do about it. And well, that's half right. Sometimes when you're stagnant, you just got to sit there for a while and process it. Sometimes when you're stagnant, you actually have the opportunity to build in your direction slowly. It's all about having that direction in your mind. You feel me? Um, I don't think anybody necessarily enjoys being stagnant. I mean, some people might enjoy it the first 2 3 weeks because they're like, oh man, like life is low-key calm. And usually when you start feeling stagnant, you start having more fun at the very beginning because you start feeling more sometimes more comfortable if it's that type of stagnant. If it's if you're just feeling stunned, like your growth is stunned by something, and you're just uncomfortable because of that, then it's a different type of stagnant. But regardless, either stagnant event has its cons. It's dreadful, draining emotions because you feel like you're not going anywhere. I think that if it weren't for those moments, nothing that anybody would build, nothing that has been built, nothing in your life that you have achieved would have any meaning or value to it, because the stagnancy is the time that it takes to process it, to accept something. You know what I'm saying? To check in with yourself, to checkpoint and move forward. A stagnancy is almost like a mandatory check-in. Like, okay, you got this far, now you can't do anything about it. Check in, recreate, rewire, and then keep it pushing. You feel me? Like that's why I say like stagnancy is a gift if you know how to use it correctly. Never feel bad, or guilty that you're stagnant. Never, because the truth is, it's not about you. It's never about you. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it personally. The truth is, the stagnation is only there because where you're trying to go needs you to check in. It needs you to rewire, to find out what you're gonna do next. Because what you've been doing can only get you so far. You need to switch it up. It's always switching up. The world is constantly changing, and you need to change with it, or else you're just gonna stay in the same place. And if you stay in the same place and you don't change, eventually you're just gonna fall down. Because, like everything, if it's not trending, it falls off. You feel me? And I'm not saying you got to be trending with everything 24/7, but I'm saying you got to be shifting and changing with the world, especially in the world of business. You got to be changing and shifting and adapting. You feel me? Now, I'm a little sick, and I haven't really been able to go out and do a lot of the meetings that I usually do on a daily basis. I haven't really been able to go out and do pickups. Um, and I feel a little stagnant right now, to be honest with you. But I've enjoyed this stagnation because I have time to focus on one, this YouTube channel that I've been posting on consistently, two, a project that I've been working on regarding crypto, TikToks that I've been making about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, stagnation gives you the opportunity to do other things. It gives you the opportunity to do other things when you can control, cannot, like, when I've been feeling sick lately, right? I haven't been able to do meetings. I haven't been able to meet up with people in public. I haven't been able to do public buyouts, nothing, based off of the business that I do. But it's giving me time to lock in on my crypto project that I'm working on. Not a coin, I'm not making a token. All right, so don't worry. But and it's giving me time to work on my TikToks, my YouTube videos, the things that I do have control of. Because I don't have control of this sickness. I'm taking my medicine, whatever, but I can't fix this like that. I'm forced to be in the stagnant state where I can't really focus on my main career right now, like my main work. So I'm gonna work on what I can, build what I can while I'm sick. You feel me? Because this is what I can do. It's taking control. You know what I'm saying? If I were to just be sick and then decide, you know what, I'm sick, I'm not gonna do anything today. I'm not gonna work on this or that. Then I'm just losing. I'm falling down. But this stagnation may have stopped one thing. It may have capped one thing, but it's helping me build another. You feel me? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can always take control over it. There's always a direction in which you can leave that stagnation. Stagnation is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a tool. It's a tool at your disposal. It's time. You know what I mean? It's time. And sometimes you can say it's energy, because sometimes it just frustrates people enough to the point where they want to do something about something and they just do it. You feel me? Like, people have a breaking point. You have a breaking point. I have a breaking point. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I sometimes have people asking me like, man, like, I'm having a bad time. Like, I love my job. I'm getting paid good, but I want something new, bro. Like, I don't know what to do. How, what would you do? How did you? And I'm like, bro, the position that you're in right now is exactly where you gotta be. You gotta hate your job for a little bit. You say you're getting paid good, right? That's what you said. That's why you're there still. All right, well, you gotta stay a little longer until you hate your job more than what you're getting paid. Why? Because you're not gonna change unless you need to change sometimes. You feel me? Like, sometimes you gotta stay stagnant until you learn that lesson, belt to ass. You feel me? That's how it be. And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I'm just saying, There's many jobs that I left sometimes later than I wanted to, and I've had 12 jobs, by the way. I some jobs I stayed for longer than I had to, just because I hadn't been in a stagnant position long enough to get so pissed off and upset, or just annoyed of that job and tired to leave. And sometimes that's what stagnation does to you. It makes you realize where you're at and that you need to go. You need to move. Like, you need to do something, or deal with what you got right now and stay in that position. You feel me? And a lot of people stay in that position. They do. They don't care. They stay in that position. They hate their lives. They're miserable. They want to spread it on other people. And that's not your problem. Your problem is to be concerned with, what are you gonna do about it? You feel me? Like, if I was gonna be stuck at a job that I don't like, but I'm getting paid good, all right, I start creating a plan. How much am I getting paid? How much can I save? And what can I do with this money? How long can I last without the job? What do I gotta do to continue my lifestyle, to do what I need to do to make it work, to get out of here? You feel me? Maybe start searching for a new job. Maybe start another business. You feel me? Maybe make certain connections. Maybe plan a trip somewhere, plan a move somewhere. You feel me? Like, those are the things that I would do if I was stuck at a job that I didn't want. But I can't tell him that. I can't tell you that if you're just asking me, like, man, like, but my job this, but this, and but I gotta take care of rent. But all those things can't matter when you want to change in stagnation. When you want to change in stagnation, you just gotta find the solution. You gotta ignore the what's, buts, ifs. You just gotta find the solution and do that. You feel me? That's just how it is. And I don't know. It took me a while to learn that. It took me a good while to learn that, actually. I remember I was working. Well, I've talked about the post office a few times, right? But I remember I used to work at the post office, and I was working there for an extended amount of time. And I just remember, like, there was a time where I was just so pissed off, man. I was just getting tired, so tired of my supervisor. Keep in mind, she was older than me. It's- I don't know, 40 years old, right? Always mad, always yelling at everybody, and I was always doing my job. And I just remember that I hated that job so much, bro. Like, I hated that job so much, but it was paying me so well. I was making like 4K a month at 19, right? Which, I don't know how you guys take that, but for me, it was a good amount of money. I was living by myself here in New York, whatever, whatever. I I remember I quit. I quit that job. I didn't even have my next job lined up, because my next job still needed another interview for me. I didn't have it lined up. I quit it, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to this other job. And if I run out of money, if I don't, I'll do what I have to do to survive. But I'm not staying here. You feel me? And that's probably one of the best decisions I've made. I mean, if I did not make that decision, I wonder where I would be today. I wonder where I would be today. I wonder if I would still be working there. That job was horrible. I had no life. I was working 60 hours a week, every month. I was 6 days a week as well. Like, I just wasn't catching a break. And you make good money, you get overtime up, but I had no life. You feel me? And I had to make that jump. I just had to make that jump. And it was the best jump I ever made. And everything ended up working out. And sometimes things might not work out, to be honest with you. I've had times where things didn't work out when I made the jump, or when I but you gotta try it. It's better than staying exactly where you are. When you stay exactly where you are, and you just don't do anything about it, you just kind of sit there, and you end up losing. You end up losing part of yourself. You end up losing a lot of your potential, a lot of your energy, a lot of your time. Regardless, though, don't ever feel bad, even if you do end up losing time and part of yourself and your potential, because that's a lesson, and you can always build on top of it. I guess the main point of what I'm trying to say is, stagnancy is a good thing if you know how to use it correctly. It's a tool, it's time, it's energy at your disposal. It helps you plan, it helps you process, it helps you realize, and it helps you move forward. You just gotta know what direction you wanna go and channel it that way. You know what I'm saying? Set up those guardrails. Um, but yeah, guys, I usually do meetings with people. People ask me questions, they ask me advice, and I love to give advice. I really do. But sometimes people ask me questions and advice that It's funny, bro. It's like you know the answer to this, my friend. You just want somebody to tell it to. I still tell it to people. I still tell it to people, but it's all within you. I just want to say that it's all within you. However, I do help people, and I have helped some people. Have helped my friends and some business friends that I have with their own companies going on, scale their businesses a little bit. If you ever need help, you can hit me up. Instagram, Emmanuel LVX. That's Emmanuel with two M's dot LVX. Um, in the bio, I have the details, more details about myself. But yeah, if you guys want to stay caught up with this series, want to keep learning, hit that subscribe button. Have a good one.